Your electricity bill is not paying for electricity. It is paying for the delivery of electricity. The poles, the wires, the substations, the corporate infrastructure sitting between you and the sun that is already shining on your roof for free. And the one thing that keeps most people permanently attached to that system, even people with solar panels, is storage. What do you do when the sun goes down? You buy it back from the grid, at peak rates, every single night. The battery companies want you to believe the only answer is a $10,000 lithium pack that degrades over 10 years and ends up in a landfill. I am going to show you an answer that uses gravity, dirt, and a hole in the ground. It has been powering clocks and mills for 500 years. And for a few $100s in materials, you can build a version in your backyard this weekend that will run lights, a refrigerator, or a phone bank through the night without a single lithium cell. I'm going to give you the full build in about 60 seconds. Stay with me after that, because the physics of why this works is one of the most elegant things I have ever explained on this channel, and it is going to change how you see energy forever. You need a deep vertical shaft. A hand-dug hole 4 feet wide and 10 to 12 feet deep works for a starter system, or a repurposed well casing if you have one. You need a heavy piston, a cylinder of compacted dirt, concrete, or gravel, packed into a form that slides smoothly inside your shaft. You need a pulley at the top, a rope or cable, and a small motor generator, the kind pulled from a treadmill, a washing machine, or bought new for under $100, mounted at the surface. When your solar panels are producing more power than you're using, that excess electricity runs the motor, which winds the cable, which lifts the piston. When the sun goes down and you need power, the piston descends under gravity, the cable unwinds, spins the generator, and puts electricity back onto your home circuit through a charge controller and inverter. That is the entire system. No lithium, no cobalt mined by hand in the Congo, no chemical degradation, no disposal problem. Gravity goes in, gravity comes out, and it will do that every single day for the rest of your life. Realistic storage for a backyard system this size, and I'm going to be straight with you here because the physics deserves respect, is 1 to 5 kilowatt hours depending on the weight of your piston and the depth of your shaft. That is not a whole house through a winter storm, but it is your refrigerator running all night. It is your lights, your phone, your router, a fan. It is the difference between being on the grid after dark and not being on the grid after dark. And it costs a few $100s, not 10,000. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It only changes form. When your solar panel absorbs sunlight, it converts photons into electrical energy. When that electrical energy runs a motor lifting a weight, it converts into gravitational potential energy, stored mechanically in the position of that mass against the pull of the Earth. The weight is now a battery, not metaphorically, physically. The energy is sitting in that elevated mass just as surely as it sits in a charged lithium cell, and when you release it, it comes back out as kinetic energy spinning your generator. The formula is simple. Energy stored equals mass times gravitational acceleration times height. 9.8 meters per second squared is a constant. The Earth's gravity, not negotiable, not subject to supply chains or quarterly earnings. The variables you control are how heavy your piston is and how deep your shaft goes. A 1,000 kilogram piston, roughly a cubic meter of concrete, weighs 10 meter stores about 27 watt hours of energy. That sounds modest. Stack 4 of those shafts. Double the depth. Use denser fill. The numbers compound. Utility-scale gravity storage projects are lifting 10,000-ton blocks hundreds of meters and storing enough energy to power neighborhoods. The physics scales perfectly. Only the ambition changes. The grandfather clock in your grandmother's living room is a gravity battery. You wind it, you lift the weights, you store energy mechanically. The clock runs on that stored gravitational potential, releasing it slowly through a regulated escapement mechanism for days at a time. Medieval tower clocks ran entire towns on the same principle. Watermills, counterweighted drawbridges, funicular railways. The history of human engineering is full of gravity doing exactly this job. The idea that we somehow forgot this when designing home energy systems is not an accident. It is a consequence of who profits from the alternative. A lithium battery has a supply chain. It has mining operations, refining facilities, manufacturing plants, shipping logistics, installation companies, warranty, departments, and a replacement cycle. Every one of those steps is a revenue event for someone. A hole in the ground with a heavy thing in it has none of those steps. That is not a suppressed technology. It is just a technology with no one to sell it to you. So no one is selling it to you. The average American household pays between $150 and $200 a month for electricity. Over 10 years, that is up to $24,000. The utility company is not generating that electricity in your neighborhood. In most cases, it is traveling significant distances through aging infrastructure, losing energy as heat along the way, and arriving at your meter marked up at every step of that journey. You are paying for transmission, You are paying for maintenance of a system built in the 1950s. You are paying for the shareholders of an investor-owned utility. The electricity itself, photons hitting a solar panel, is free, has always been free. Will be free tomorrow. The missing piece has always been storage. And the storage solution the industry points you toward, lithium, has a $10,000 entry price, a 10-year lifespan, a degrading capacity curve, and a disposal problem that the industry has not solved. The gravity battery has a few $100 entry price, a lifespan measured in decades, no degradation curve because rock does not age, and a disposal problem that consists of filling in a hole. 1 to 5 kilowatt hours is a real number, and I want you to go into this with clear eyes. The average American home uses about 30 kilowatt hours a day. A backyard gravity battery is not replacing your grid connection tomorrow. What it is doing is covering your baseline overnight load, the refrigerator, the lights, the devices, and reducing your dependence on peak rate grid power every single night. Over a year, that adds up to real money. Over 10 years, it adds up to thousands of dollars in 0 lithium cells in a landfill. If you want to scale it, and the physics allows you to scale it, you go deeper, or you go heavier, or you go multiple shafts. A serious hobbyist with a small excavator and a few weekends has documented 15 to 20 kilowatt hour systems. A community of 4 or 5 households sharing a single larger installation starts to look like genuine off-grid resilience. The ceiling is not the technology. The ceiling is how much ground you are willing to move. For a starter system, a post-hole digger or small hand auger gets you started. Rent one for under $50 for the day. Line your shaft with concrete tube form from any hardware store, available in 10 and 12-inch diameters. Mix your piston from concrete or pack it from compacted gravel in a form cut to slide inside the tube with minimal gap. Install a pulley at the top, a simple fixed block pulley rated for the weight of your piston. Your motor generator is the most technical component. A treadmill motor rated 90 to 180 volts DC works well and can be found on Craigslist or Facebook or Marketplace for under $50. Connect it to a charge controller and a 24 or 48 volt battery buffer, a small lithium or lead acid unit just to smooth the output, and then to an inverter sized for your load. Total materials cost for a functional starter system, $200 to $400. Total ongoing cost, 0. Total moving parts, 1. Gravity is not a startup. It does not have a subscription model. It does not send you a bill on the first of the month. It does not degrade, update its terms of service, or require a technician. It has been pulling things toward the center of the Earth for 4.5 billion years, and it will be doing it long after every lithium cell ever manufactured has turned to dust. A hole, a heavy thing, a rope, a generator, your refrigerator running all night on stored sunlight while the meter sits still. Share this with someone who just got their electricity bill and is still convinced the only alternative is a $10,000 battery they cannot afford. There's another answer. It has been sitting under their feet the whole time. That's it for today, and see you in the next one.